You can achieve and receive anything you want, and you do not have to feel ashamed or blamed for wanting more. Hello and welcome back to this new video of mine. Today we're gonna have a chill and cozy vibe. I want to share some life updates with you. What would this channel be if I do not give you some tips and tricks on how you can actually achieve the best outcome in your life as well, right? I moved places and I could not be happier. It's so nice. But if you actually want to see more of the apartment, you can also follow me on Instagram or on TikTok, because there you're gonna see more insights. Or you check out my YouTube shorts, actually. Yeah, if you check out my YouTube shorts, I might also put some insights in there. Okay, so I already talked around the topic enough. So as I already said, I moved and I want to tell you how you can manifest your dream apartment. So as a bit of a background info, around 2 years ago, I moved out from my parents' place, and that's when it started that I wanted to actually manifest my own apartment, right? So I lived for 1.5 years in my old apartment, which I manifested. So I came from Germany to the Netherlands, and in case you're living in the Netherlands, the housing market here is completely terrible and it's terrific. And I'm not saying that in a way of like I want to reinforce that manifestation, but it's really terrible out here. Okay, let me just state that once and for all. Okay, so I wanted to get an apartment in the Netherlands, but it was way harder than I expected. That's what she said. The reason why I'm telling you all of this right now is because I manifested my apartment 2 times. I manifested 2 different apartments with the same technique, and it worked both times perfectly. So I have no doubt in my mind that this is going to work for you as well. I actually made a mental list of things I wanted to have in this apartment, in the first one that I moved into. Because I knew it was just going to be a small room. That was all I could get. And I was like, I want a gray couch. I want big windows so that it's always full of light. I want to have a park nearby, or actually right outside my front door, because I don't want to walk a lot like to get to the park. I just want to be in the green. I want to make it like my spiritual sanctuary, and I just want to have my morning walks outside in that park. So that was my ideal goal, and I didn't want to be far outside of the city. I think I also wrote it down, but technically I just made the list also in my head of things I was looking for. At this point in time, I was just happy when I got something, because it was stressful, let me tell you. And I was like, at this point, I don't even care anymore. Like, whatever it may be, like, just give me an apartment, give me a place, Then one day we had 3 viewings. These were the only viewings we got invited to. And I saw this apartment building in an area that I loved. It was right at the park. It was so beautiful, also at the water. And I was like, oh my God, this is beautiful here. And then I saw 2 apartments in that building. The first one was very, very small, but was within the budget. One was really, really small. I think it was like 12 square meters, like including the bathroom, like it was tiny. But it was within the budget. But there were, I think, 20 people viewing this place. It was intense. Okay, and then we walked upstairs to the other apartment, and that was, I think, 22 or 24 square meters, so almost double the space that the other one had. And I felt very connected to that place. I didn't know why, but I was like, this is where I want to live. But that was out of the budget. So I applied for the more affordable apartment in that same apartment building that we viewed, that I told you about now, and another apartment that I actually did not want, but it was a better deal, and it was just also a good apartment, but I did not feel connected to it. So I applied for that one as well, and I did not get into that apartment. And then I got a confirmation for the other apartment, for the small one. Yeah, I applied for the smaller one, and I got into that. And it was directly at the park. It was the location that I wanted, and I was so, so, so happy. And before I could even move in, the middleman between the landlord and the tenants, he was calling me one day, and he was like, the other apartment that you also viewed is also still available. So if you want to have that, we can just move you up, and someone else is going to get the other apartment. I actually got the opportunity to move to that other place that I felt so connected to and that I wanted. And that other place had big windows, and it had a great couch, and I made it my spiritual place, and it was just the best. It was really the best apartment that I could have imagined to live in. Like, it was really to a T what I wanted. Because I was not having a lot of expectations, but I wrote, like, I had some things, right? Like, I had a small list, but I had a list of things I wanted. But then living there for 1.5 years actually at one point showed me that I needed a bit more, because I felt like I outgrew this place. I needed to see something different. So I was starting to look for apartments last April. Right now it's already March. So I was starting to look into new apartments because, as I said, I wanted to move. But it did not work out. I know it sounds like a spoiled brat, but I was used to having a dishwasher machine. So I moved and I did not have a dishwasher machine. Also, 22 square meter place, why would I, you know? I also did not need it, but I really wanted it. So that was definitely on the list for the new apartment. Before, I had a 1.5 or 2 square meter kitchen, which is fine if you're one person, but it's not gonna it's not gonna be fun to cook, you know? Like, you're not gonna be very much enjoying standing in the kitchen for hours. So I was like, it would be actually nice to move around in the kitchen and to have a bit of space to also cut things. I felt very comfortable where I was at that point, so I was not like, I need this now, you know? It was more like, it would be nice, but if not, it's also fine. Like, I'm gonna be okay. But it would still be nice. And then the next thing, the third thing that I found out was that actually a balcony would be nice too, right? So that's just me thinking about my dream apartment, to be honest. It was not anything else. I was just thinking about my dream apartment and what I would like, and I was just daydreaming a little bit, okay? And I think we all have those times where we think about things that could be better, things that we want differently, and that was me at that time. And then I was like, you know what? It would actually be nice to have a bathtub and a shower. I mean, if you can have everything, why not ask for everything, right? And I was like, oh, it would be so nice to actually have a bathtub, to be able to do a bath bomb, you know, and have like self-care Sundays. Loved that. And those were the things. Oh, hold up. The most important thing, I almost forgot. I wanted a bed, because I was sleeping on my couch for 1.5 years and my back started hurting like hell. It's no complaining, really, it's no complaining. I loved that place, I still love it, it's still my heart, you know, but it just, I think you outgrow things, and that was a place that I definitely outgrew after 1.5 years, and for me, I wanted something else, and I don't think I need to actually defend myself for that. I think we all have moments in life where we would like something different, right? So, and also in general, I was basically doing, besides my makeup, I was doing everything on the couch. I was sleeping on the couch, I was eating on the couch, I was studying on the couch, and I was watching Netflix on the couch, you know? Like, I was just on the couch 24/7, it felt like. And at one point, it was just not ideal anymore for my study habits, for my working habits, for my eating habits, and for my sleeping habits as well. And then I actually met my boyfriend. And in my head, I was like, nah, you know, I feel like I'm gonna move between February and March of 2023. I don't know where I'm gonna move, I don't know how I'm gonna move, I don't know how much the rent is gonna be, but I want to move and I'm gonna find a place. And ideally, I did not ever communicate that to him back then, but I was like, ideally it would be with him. Those were all the things covered now, and now I'm gonna explain to you how that actually all happened. So we are meeting up with a friend of his, and that friend is saying that he wants to rent out an apartment he has. And then we looked at it, and it's a very nice place, you know, and technically has everything that I asked for in my mental list that I made, and it had even more, and I was really loving it. For some reason, I did not resonate with it yet, but then later, when we got home, I was like, okay, actually, this is so much an upgrade, and I actually really would like that place, so we might as well just make it happen. And that was, I think, in December. A few weeks later, that friend of his texts us that he doesn't want to rent it out anymore, and he wants to rent it out to someone else. And that was a bummer, you know, because in my head, we were already living in that apartment, and that did not work out. I was like, okay, if it's supposed to happen, it will happen, and if not, then not. So I was just letting it go, and I was looking for other apartments. One day we were at IKEA because I needed stuff for my old apartment, and we were actually going back from that IKEA, and I remember that friend of his called him, and like it's like, because then we were at IKEA and we were like visualizing how it would be like to move in together, and like what furniture we would get and all that stuff. And that friend is like, you know what, I made up my mind. It would be lovely if you would move in here, actually, because I would like friends to live in here and it would be so nice. And I look at my boyfriend and I'm like, literally, this is the sign that we were waiting for. Like, literally, this is it, you know? That was like a few months after that first initial talk that we had with him. And now I'm sitting here. I'm sitting in our apartment. And it's just so insane because it literally has everything. It has everything that was on the list that I mentally created. So we have a balcony. We have a dishwasher machine. That dishwasher machine is saving my life right now. You know, I appreciate it so much. I just appreciate it so much. So we have a dishwasher machine. We have a longer kitchen with more working space. I can sleep in a bed right now. You know, it's so nice. So we have a bed as well, also on the list. And now the best part, we have a bathtub and we have a shower. And the bathtub is not the usual bathtub, it's technically a jacuzzi because it has jets in there. What is happening? You know, what is happening? I moved in here like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks when this comes out, but it's still blowing my mind. Like, it's really blowing my mind at this point. And it's everything that I manifested before. It's everything that I made in my mental list before. And it's... Okay, I'm not sitting here to say to you how beautiful and how amazing my life is. Believe me, there are ups and downs. You know, I also have bad days. But we are here to talk about the positive ones right now. Because this is a manifesting and lifestyle channel. And we are here for positivity, right? So let's stay at that. That all came true at the exact same time that I said that I'm gonna move. Because it actually happened end of February. So technically really between February and March. So how is that gonna help you now to actually manifest your dream apartment or to manifest things into your life? What you need to do first is just visualize, daydream a little bit. Think about things that you would like. Think about things that will make your life easier, how much it will benefit you to have those things in your life. And just think about how beautiful life would be, you know, because you do not need to feel ashamed or guilty for wanting more. There's enough abundance out there. There's enough out there for you. You can achieve and receive anything you want, and you do not have to feel ashamed or blame for wanting more. When you actually do visualize those things, please, please, please don't feel guilty, don't feel bad about yourself. Get excited about what is actually out there. Because, I mean, I knew that there's a kitchen with a dishwasher machine out there, right? Like, I knew there are dishwasher machines out there. I just had to find it. So I found an apartment with a dishwasher machine. I also knew that there were apartments with balconies. I just had to find it, you know? So, and it actually happened way more easily and way more effortlessly than I could even have imagined. I was technically looking for months and months and months and trying so hard to get something and to find an apartment for myself. But that was apparently not meant to be because there was something better out there. Something that I actually wanted. Something that actually was on my list and actually applied every single criteria, you know? That's the first part. Second part, then make that mental list, make that image, just make that list for yourself and say, I have those things that new apartment will have to check. You can get everything you want, so why would you settle for less? Okay, so make that checklist for yourself in your head. And then lastly, as I always preach, as I always say, believe in it and let it go. You can still take action and you can look for things and you can reach out to other people and taking those action steps. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes also be able to receive and not only push towards things. Because you need to be able to let go of things and know that they are happening and know that they're on their way. There might be a bit of a time delay, but just know that you're going to get what you're visualizing and dreaming of. Believe it and let it go. And what you can also additionally do, state a time at which you want to move. Because at first I did not do that. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to look for apartments. If I find something, then that's nice. Like, I was searching and I wanted to move. I made that intention. I set that intention, but I was not actively like, I want to move out at that time, you know? So for me, when I said that I wanted to move between February and March, that was actually exactly what happened. So set yourself a time and actually put out to the universe a sign when you want to receive those things. It can be applied to everything. It doesn't need to be an apartment. It can be applied to a car, to money, to whatever you want. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and leave a thumbs up if that video helped you. And also subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It would really mean the world to me. See or hear you next week, and have a blissful day. Bye!